Every 100 years, the forces of good mysteriously start to weaken. Thus, the power of Dracula starts to revive itself. His power grows stronger and stronger every 100 years. Dracula has revived many times. However, his sinister actions have been constantly thwarted by the Belmont family. It's been 100 years since the last confrontation between Dracula and the Belmont family. But now, the serenity of Transylvania is being threatened by destructive forces. On a dark and eerie night, Dracula rose from his grave to unleash his destructive power over the countryside. Once again, Simon Belmont is called upon to destroy Dracula. With only a whip and his courage, he sets out to restore peace to Transylvania. Hello everybody, and welcome to a very special LP on the night of Halloween, and all of the nights leading up to it. It is time to play Super Castlevania 4! Hell yes! So, before we get started, I have a little bit of history with this game, so if we go to options very quickly and make sure everything is set nicely, which it is, very nice, and this is the part where I have to try and remember how to work a Super Nintendo, even though this is not running on a Super Nintendo, as you may notice, because this is in high definition. This is indeed the Wii U version of Castlevania 4, so with that said, let's start right now. So, what is my name? Well, obviously it's G. 3 P. Why would you ask such a silly question of me? With the castle on the horizon, it is time to take the evils of the night as we head towards Castlevania. Oh yeah! Now this, okay, so this is actually quite a weird thing for me, because I'm sure most people, when they watch playthroughs of this game, they're normally played by people who are actually alive at the time, and, oh, freaking moonwalking. I get distracted very easily. Anyway, who are alive at the time when this game was out. So, I actually am coming in from a new generation of Castlevania when I started, and I have a personal grudge against this game because I have played this game many times and I have never properly beaten it. I have always gotten up to the castle and I have never gotten further than that. So, this is my chance to set things right. And it's the perfect time. It's the night of Halloween. So, with that said, please keep in mind that I will be going off memory for this playthrough, as I do for many of my playthroughs, so it should be no surprise to you. But still should be kept in note. So, for people who don't know this game, this is made by Konami, and published by Konami even. and was the first Castlevania on the Super Nintendo after Castlevanias 1, 2, and 3. It was the first to feature 8 whip directions, which basically means you can whip like this and be all fancy like, and also do stuff like, nope, not like that, like this! Kind of pointless, but whatever. It's actually not pointless, but I'll get to that later. So with that, let's continue through this Garden of Madness, which I believe is actually a name of a place in Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow. So a little bit of history with Castlevania and my take on the games. I've actually played quite a lot in the series, and I already got the cross, or the boomerang as I hear people like to call it, so that's very nice. But, distractions! Keep focused! Yeah, I am coming from a new generation of Castlevania, so from Aria of Sorrow onwards is where I've started. Aria of Sorrow was actually the first Castlevania game I ever played on the Game Boy, and is one that I hold near and dear to my heart. And from there I've played Dawn of Sorrow and beaten it. I've beaten Order of Ecclesia, Portrait of Ruin, fucking Bat! Fucking Bat, I don't remember that one in the series. No. Oh, damn it, I lost my cross! Okay, should have remembered there was a knife in that one. Anyway, I've beaten Castlevania Lords of Shadow, and I'm in the middle of Lords of Shadow 2 at the moment. I don't think there's a secret here. Nope, there isn't. And that is pretty much my history. I have played the NES versions of Castlevania, which is Simon's Quest and Dracula's Curse, and of course the original. But I've never beaten any of them, so this is my chance to properly beat a older generation of Castlevania. Oh, and Symphony of the Night. How could I forget about that game? That is the other one I have played. How did I forget about Symphony of the Night? That's one of the best. Ah, God. There's actually quite a few Castlevania games that I really want to catch up on. Bloodlines on the Genesis was one I've always been interested in, and also Circle of the Moon, which I believe was the first Game Boy Advance Castlevania. I might be wrong on that, so I wouldn't quote me on that one. So quite a good history, I believe. There are, of course, some obscure ones like there was one on the Game Boy, but I can't remember what it was called, the original Game Boy, and there was also Harmony of Dissonance on GameCube, and various others like Castlevania 64. But I have never played those ones, only seen them, so I cannot speak for them. Oh, and Castlevania Judgment, but we don't talk about that. But enough of reminiscing! God, I spent way too much time on that. Oh man, I haven't actually talked about the actual game yet, as I was just storming through it. So, basically, the reason why I'm doing this is because I thought that, I'll be honest, I don't think I've been uploading enough. There's been a lot of stuff going on, and I thought, you know what, just a nice short playthrough of an old game and a game I really, really like is, I think, a good way to sort of relax a bit and look and appreciate all these 16-bit goodness which you see in front of you. And come on, this one's always oh god, that one's always a bastard to get. Anyway, so if we make our way over here, I can't remember what this part of the castle is called. It's right at the start, so I assume it would be like a garden or something. And I think I'm not going to ignore these enemies, mainly because they like to hit me on the way out, even though I think the only one that actually attempts to hit you is the one on the ceiling. If we make our way up here, you'll see a nice little detail in the background. I can't remember what that is. I think that's the boss of this level, in fact, which I always believe is a nice detail. If you jump on these things right here, they flip over, but if you just walk over them, then you'll be fine. And not get hit by Medusa heads, and I said not get hit by Medusa heads! Oh god. At least we got a chicken leg, Jesus! Oh man. It doesn't really matter what type of secondary weapon that you have at this point in the game, because you can pretty much use your whip for most of it, and for anyone who's watched Ego Raptor, then you should know his argument on that, and I must get all candles. All candles must be destroyed. That is not a given, it is a must. Anyway. If we head down here, we should make our way to the first boss fight very soon. So if I could just destroy you, get a pork chop, and we got our first boss fight! A skeleton on a skeleton horse. Not gonna lie, not the most threatening thing ever, and he's a pretty easy boss fight. In fact, I'm pretty sure you could just whack him over and over like this, and then that's pretty much it. And I swear to God, please don't die to this boss. If I actually die, thank God. I know I'm going to die in a stupid way, but I don't want to be dead in that stupid way. And yes, I got the cool pose. If you hit the orb at the right frame, then you can do a nice little pose like that. Little details.